We're going to be making lunar dumplings for Lunar New Year. In Korean, Lunar New Year, we would call it... You know what? I'm not going to butcher it because my Korean is not that good. I'm going to have my sister actually say it.
We call it 설날. Every year around the New Year, we eat dumplings.
Hi, my name is Edward Kim. I'm the executive chef of Mott Street and Mini Mott, and I'm here with my sister.
Vicki Kim, also co-owner here at Mott Street and Mini Mott.
And we're here to show you guys how to make dumplings. So this is one of the styles of dumplings that we love to do. One of the many different styles. Recipe that was passed down from my father. This style of dumpling is a little bit more of a northern Chinese style, even though we're Korean. Right here I have about a pound of pork. I'm gonna throw that in here. And then we're gonna take one bunch of scallions. We're gonna cut this up. And then Vicki, you can throw those scallions in there.
All right.
We spent a lot of time together just as kids. Experimenting, playing around with the toaster. A lot of fun.
I was basically his test rat, and I would be forced to try his concoctions.
Yeah, those are early
Some
test
less
kitchen.
successful than others, but things turned out, I guess.
So now we're going to add in about a quarter cup of sugar, 4 ounces of soy sauce to that,
Soy sauce.
2 ounces of Shaoxing for me.
2 ounces of Shaoxing.
Shaoxing wine is a Chinese cooking wine, so it's a little bit sweet and it adds just like a little different note to what's going on, a little bit more complexity. Now we're going to do a teaspoon of sesame oil.
Oh, I love sesame oil.
Here's the teaspoon measure.
Oh. Just a teaspoon?
Yep, just a teaspoon. Sesame oil, I like to treat it as like a seasoning spice, almost like salt. Sesame oil is always better when it's just a hint of it going on. And now we're gonna add the ginger. This is the last part. This is a little trick that I love. When you don't have a peeler, you could just use a spoon to peel this guy. With a micro grater, you can grate this up. This is more of like a northern Chinese style. Korean dumplings way. Another recipe that my father and mother had taught me was using suchinama, which is like mung bean sprouts. There's a little tofu in there and green onions. The Chinese style, I find, tends to be more meat-centric, less vegetables in there. I think that should be good enough. You want to try putting on these gloves?
Yes, this was our favorite part growing up as kids. Mash it all
Just
together.
mash it all together
to
and make
integrate
it
all
one
the
happy,
flavors.
one happy thing.
We just did this with my niece, Ed's daughter, the other day, and this was her favorite part. Putting her tiny 2-year-old hands in the gloves and mashing it all together. So now it's super tender and well integrated.
And it's really well seasoned. So at this point, you let it marinate for a little bit. I would say like 30 minutes to an hour. And if it has a little too much moisture, you might strain it a little bit to let the liquid come out. So right now we're about to assemble the dumplings. I got these wrappers. These wrappers I actually got from Jinggu. They're Shanghai style dumplings. For this Chinese style dumpling, I think this works best. Just a round and about roughly 3.5 inches in diameter. And then we're just gonna put in a little bit of filling into each one, enough so that you can wrap them up easily. So right now I'm dipping my fingers into just cold water and running the rim of the wrappers with my finger.
You're taking away all the fun. This was my favorite part growing up.
Yeah, jump in there. And this is to seal it. I fold it over into a half moon shape. I'm gonna seal the edges.
It's a pretty half moon. You can eat the dumplings like this, or you can put them in whatever fun shape you like.
Take the 2 edges and give it a little squeeze, and then you're done.
Sometimes if there's too much filling, it might juice out at the edge, and that's okay. You just squeeze that out.
And that is an ugly dumpling, but that is okay. Supposedly if you make ugly dumplings, then you make ugly children.
Yeah, so there's this saying in Korea, ugly dumplings, ugly kids. I think our grandma just told us that theory so we would make food that was presentable.
Aren't all children beautiful? So with these dumplings, at this point, you could either put them on a tray that's generously floured and store them in the refrigerator for a day or two, preferably in the freezer. And then once they're frozen, you can throw them into like a Ziploc bag and just go into them whenever you're hungry for dumplings. But right now we're gonna steam these. So we have a little steamer basket lined with cabbage. Another trick that you can do is take some paper towel and just wring it with a little bit of water and lay it on the bottom as well if you don't have cabbage leaves.
And that way the delicate dumpling wrap won't break.
Key is you wanna pack these dumplings in here, but don't have them touch each other. Otherwise, they're going to be sticking all over one another. Once you put it in here, you're gonna want it to steam for about 8 to 10 minutes. In terms of these dumplings, this shape I would say is ideal for steaming. If you weren't going to pinch the ends and do more of a flat crescent like this, This would be more conducive for doing what we call like mulmandu, which is water dumplings, and we just boil them.
That is our mom's favorite way to eat dumplings, mulmandu, water dumplings. The easy way to tell that they're done is they just float to the top. So then you just grab them with a slotted spoon, put them in a bowl either with water or without water. It's really homey.
All right, so the dumplings have been steaming for quite a while. The beauty of steaming dumplings is you just have to make sure that they're cooked through. You can't really overcook it unless you leave it on forever, you know? So if it goes 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's fine. Steaming is such a gentle process that you could have a whole stack of these and you can come back to it. Just pull them off when you're about to eat them because nobody wants cold dumplings. So you have these dumplings right here. You can see that the skin is translucent and you can see the meat through there. Just to top this
right here
is just a little chives, just to make it a little bit fancy. Also, with the dumpling, you need a nice dipping sauce. Here, this is about equal parts soy sauce and black vinegar, a little teaspoon of sambal in there, and also fresh ginger slices as well.
At Mott Street, we do make our sambal in-house and age it in-house, but you can actually buy sambal at any Asian market, and it just adds like a nice heat element, and the freshly grated ginger is always a nice touch.
When you bite into these dumplings, just be careful, they might be a little bit hot. Also, there's a little cabbage underneath, so don't be afraid to eat that with the dumpling as well.
So there's this saying in Korea, so basically every year around the new year, we eat dumplings, and that's to signify prosperity, wealth, good fortune, but it also indicates that you're turning a year older. Korean culture. So if you want to stay younger,
stay away from dumplings, but then that is a life that is not worth living.
Flavor bomb.